All right, so get ready, everyone, because today we're going deep on something you know and love,
Yeah.
coffee. Specifically, we're looking at the special connection between coffee and the academic world.
Right.
We've got a couple of interesting articles to dig into,
Yeah.
and of course, we'll be sharing our own thoughts and experiences too.
Sounds good.
So have you ever thought about
Yeah.
why you see so many academics with a coffee cup practically glued to their hand?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
It's almost like a stereotype, right?
Totally.
The absent-minded professor hunched over a stack of books, fueled by endless coffee.
Exactly.
It's kind of funny, but there's also something more to it, don't you think?
I think so, for sure.
Like there's a deeper connection there.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Okay, great.
Our first article is titled Professorial Coffee as the Keystone of Academic Culture.
Interesting title.
And it really digs into this idea of coffee having this almost cult-like status in universities.
I like that.
Cult-like?
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
It's not just a drink. It's almost like a symbol.
Yeah,
A ritual, even.
totally.
And you know what's fascinating to me?
What?
It's how coffee seems to play a social role in a field that's often so solitary.
Right, like think about it.
Yeah.
You got all those researchers and students spending hours alone in libraries or labs.
Yeah.
Coffee becomes this shared thing, a way to connect.
Like a common ground.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do.
And the article even points out something really funny,
What's that?
like how some dissertations actually thank Starbucks in their acknowledgments.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Right.
It's like coffee's become this silent research partner.
I love that the silent research partner,
And it deserves an honorary degree.
maybe an honorary barista.
There you go.
Okay, so we've got coffee as this social glue,
Right.
but there's this whole other side to it too.
Okay, what's that?
The actual benefits, the effects it has on our brains.
Yeah, the fuel for the academic engine.
Exactly. And that leads us to our next article.
Okay.
The benefits of academic coffee.
Interesting.
Now, what's interesting here is that it's written by Jared Canise,
Okay.
who is the CEO of academicjobs.com.
Huh. The CEO of a job site writing about coffee.
Right. I thought that was kind of funny.
It is a bit unexpected.
You'd almost expect an article like that from like a
Yeah.
scientist or a researcher,
You would think so, right?
not the CEO of a job site.
I wonder if there's some marketing savvy at play there.
Maybe, but honestly, I think it speaks to something bigger,
Like what?
like how deeply coffee is woven into the fabric of academia.
That's a good point.
Even someone focused on careers recognizes its importance.
I see what you mean.
So what about these benefits that he's highlighting?
Okay, so he talks about...
He touches on cognitive function,
Right.
which I think is something our listeners are particularly interested in,
Yeah, absolutely.
given all the demanding mental work involved.
Exactly.
So what does he say specifically?
Well, he emphasizes things like improved focus,
Okay.
memory, mood,
Mhm.
and of course, reduced fatigue.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Right. Essential for anyone dealing with those late night study sessions.
It's funny, though,
Yeah.
when you think of coffee, you might picture those sugary, fancy drinks,
Yeah.
but he's specifically praising black coffee,
Ah.
not those calorie-laden concoctions.
Yes, and that's a good point.
It makes you think,
Oh, it does.
are those fancy drinks actually helping
Hmm.
or just a tasty distraction?
Um.
I've fallen into that trap myself.
Oh, me too. Those caramel macchiatos.
It's like they call to you,
They really do.
but he's really focused on the benefits of pure black coffee.
Right, the stuff that actually boosts your brain power.
Makes sense.
It does.
But you know what I'm finding really interesting?
What's that?
Both of these articles,
Yeah.
they're going beyond just the practical stuff.
Hmm.
They're talking about ritual and social connection.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like they're saying coffee is more than just a drink in academia.
I agree.
It's part of the culture.
Exactly.
And Knizia even goes as far as saying it's not even just about the coffee itself.
Really? What is it about then?
It's about the conversations and the connections
Oh, I see.
that happen around it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Like those coffee breaks,
Yeah,
they can be incredibly valuable.
they can.
You get people together,
Right.
they start brainstorming,
Mm.
debating, even just catching up.
And those casual interactions can spark some really interesting ideas.
I think so too.
Sometimes the best insights come from those unplanned moments
Absolutely.
when you're just chatting over a cup of coffee.
Exactly.
It's like coffee creates a space for those connections to happen.
It does, doesn't it?
And in academia,
Yeah.
where ideas are everything,
Totally.
those connections can be so powerful.
Makes you wonder if universities should invest in like really good coffee machines
Right.
for their faculty lounges.
Like top-of-the-line espresso machines.
Exactly.
Well, maybe it's not just about the machines.
Sure.
It's about creating a culture
Yeah,
where those informal interactions are valued.
I see what you mean.
Like having spaces
Right.
where people can just bump into each other.
And chat.
Exactly.
You know what I was thinking about?
Mm.
Going back to those cognitive benefits,
Yeah.
Knize mentions memory specifically,
Right.
like how coffee can actually improve it.
He does.
How does that even work?
Well, there's a lot of research on this, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's the connection?
Basically, caffeine boosts alertness
Okay.
and attention, right?
Makes sense.
And that can actually help with how your brain forms memories and how it recalls them later on.
So that's why I always want coffee when I'm studying for a test.
Exactly.
Like my brain knows it needs that extra boost.
It's like your brain's asking for it.
It really is.
But there is such a thing as too much coffee.
Oh, for sure.
You can definitely overdo it.
So what's like,
The limit.
well, it depends on the person.
Okay.
But generally they say around 400 milligrams of caffeine a day is okay.
400 milligrams.
Yeah, which is about 4 cups of brewed coffee.
4 cups. That's not bad.
Right.
But I guess some people are more sensitive
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
than others.
Some people get jittery,
Mhm.
anxious even,
Yeah.
or have trouble sleeping if they have too much.
You really got to find that sweet spot.
You do.
Right.
Where you're getting the benefits,
Yeah.
but not overdoing it.
And I guess timing matters too.
Oh, absolutely.
Having coffee too late in the day
Yeah,
could mess with your sleep,
big time.
and then you're not getting those cognitive benefits anyway.
Exactly. It's counterproductive.
I've been there.
Me too.
Up all night before a deadline.
Staring at the ceiling,
Yeah.
trying to make sense of your notes.
It's the worst.
It is.
But okay, so the main takeaway here.
Yeah,
Coffee can be helpful for your brain,
it can.
but you got to be smart about it.
Right.
Be mindful of how much you're having.
When you're having it.
And listen to your body.
You know what else I've been thinking about
Mm-mm.
that we haven't really touched on?
What's that?
It's like
Yeah.
the ritual of coffee.
Oh, the ritual. Yeah.
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
And both articles kind of hint at it.
They do.
How we make coffee.
Right.
How we drink it.
It often becomes a whole process,
Totally.
a series of
It's
steps.
like a ceremony.
Almost.
And everyone has their own way.
They do, don't they?
Some people are all about precision.
Yeah.
Like they weigh their beans,
Yeah.
use a timer.
Got to have the perfect pour over.
Exactly.
While others are more laid back.
Yeah.
Just scoop and go.
It's like coffee is a form of self-expression.
I like that.
Right.
Your coffee, your way.
Exactly. It
Like-
reflects your personality.
And I think those rituals,
Mm-hmm.
they add something special
They do.
to the whole experience.
It's not just about the caffeine.
No, it's about the anticipation,
Well, process.
the mindfulness.
And especially in academia,
right.
where things are so
Hectic.
demanding.
Those rituals can be grounding.
I agree.
They can bring a sense of calm
a moment of peace.
amidst the chaos.
Exactly.
You know what I remember from
Wow.
grad school?
Yeah.
There was this espresso machine
Okay.
in the department lounge.
Classic.
And every afternoon,
Yeah.
there'd be a line,
Oh.
everyone waiting for their fix.
It's like a social gathering, a chance to connect,
To vent.
to share ideas.
And it wasn't really about the espresso itself.
Right. It was about being together,
Exactly.
sharing that experience.
And both of these articles,
yeah.
they seem to be saying the same thing.
Which is-
It's not just about the coffee.
What is it about then?
It's about the conversations
Yes.
that happen around it.
I see what you mean.
It's like coffee has this unique ability
Hmm.
to bring people together.
To break down barriers, to create a shared experience.
Absolutely.
And in a world that's so digital,
Yeah.
so disconnected,
Right.
I think those moments of face-to-face interaction
Mm-hmm.
are more important than ever.
I couldn't agree more.
Makes me wonder, though,
What's that?
could other drinks do the same thing?
Like what?
Like tea,
Okay.
or even just water,
Interesting question.
if they had that same
Right.
social significance.
It's ritualistic element.
Yeah,
Well, tea definitely has its own rituals,
it does.
especially in certain cultures.
Right.
And even water
Yeah.
can be special
How so?
if you really pay attention to it.
Like how?
The taste, the temperature,
Yeah.
how it makes you feel.
I guess it's not really about the drink itself.
Maybe not.
It's about the intention,
The ritual.
the shared experience.
I think you're onto something.
Like those little moments
Me too.
of connection and ritual.
We can really fuel our minds and souls.
Oh.
Whether it's coffee, tea, or even just a glass of water with a friend.
Yeah, it makes you think about all the little things
Right.
that can actually have a big impact.
Absolutely. Like something as simple as a drink can
Exactly.
bring people together.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
Speaking of bringing people together,
Yeah.
I was thinking about Jared Canisse again.
Oh, from academicjobs.com.
Yeah, the CEO who loves coffee.
Right. And runs a website for academics.
Exactly.
Interesting combination.
It is. And there's this feature on his site
Okay.
that seems really relevant to what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
It's called Academic Connect.
Academic Connect. Okay.
And from what I've read,
Yeah.
it's all about connecting academics
Makes sense.
from all over the world.
How does it work?
So basically, every morning at 8 a.m.,
Okay.
they have a live chat,
A live chat.
and you get paired with a random group of academics.
Wow. So it's like a virtual coffee break.
Exactly.
That's a really cool idea.
Right.
It taps into that whole need for connection
Totally.
that we've been talking about.
Especially for people who might be feeling isolated,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
like if they're working remotely
Or new to academia.
or just want to meet new people.
Exactly.
It's a low-pressure way to connect,
Yeah, I like that.
share ideas, maybe even find collaborators.
Who knows? You might even make some lifelong friends.
That'd be awesome.
It would.
Coffee buddies across the globe.
There you go. Proof that coffee can open doors.
Literally and figuratively.
I like it.
So I think we've covered a lot today.
We have.
We've talked about coffee as a social ritual,
Right.
as a cognitive enhancer.
As a connector.
Exactly.
It's more than just a drink.
It really is.
It's a part of academic culture.
And it seems like that culture is even extending online.
Absolutely. With platforms like Academic Connect.
It's fascinating to see how something so simple
Mm-hmm.
can have such a big impact.
It is.
So whether you like your coffee black
With cream and sugar.
or blended with all sorts of fancy flavors,
It's all good.
just remember to savor it
Enjoy the experience.
and appreciate the connections it brings.
Well said.
And if you're looking to connect with other academics,
Don't forget to check out Academic Connect.
on academicjobs.com.
It might just be your ticket to new collaborations.
New friendships.
And who knows, maybe even a new favorite coffee spot.
And on that note,
Yeah.
we'll wrap up our deep dive
Another deep dive complete.
into the world of coffee and academic life.
It's been a pleasure.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to go brew a fresh cup.
Me too. That conversation really got me craving a good cup of coffee.
Thanks for joining us, everyone,
We'll see you next time.
for another deep dive into something fascinating.